Hey, what's up everybody? BDL44 coming at you another video. Alright, got my little mushroom chicken and my teriyaki chicken. Just wanted to get myself some food to go along with my rice. I didn't want the same old stuff today for some reason. I might have bought too many sides, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. I guess I'll just save some for tomorrow or whatever. Twice tonight or something. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, man, I got myself some food. It was not cheap either. Probably won't do this again. $20 for two sides, medium size. It's craziness, but that's what I came all the way down here for. So that's what I did, man. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about the LA Lakers because we've talked about it. We've talked about it a lot. But is there still any trades that I would like to make in regards to putting this team in a position to improving upon the year? I mean, to be honest with you, I think making movements around the margins could potentially be good, but only if those movements are going to be carried over into either flexibility for the future in case LeBron leaves, or things that can be retraded for flexibility in the future for when LeBron leaves. Because if we don't put ourselves in a position to have that, we're just going to have a bunch of stuff on the table that's not going to be worth what it is that we ultimately want it to be, and that could be the problem. You don't want that. You want your value to be recognized in everything that you have, and that's what we've been talking about all day. You want to be able to capture value of things. So if, for example, we trade for a piece like let's say the Lakers trade for like Tobias Harris. If you trade for Tobias Harris, he's expiring, and you don't re-sign him at a price that you like, or just re-sign him, period, you could potentially find yourself in a position to not have him be recognized in any value that you use, that you retain upon LeBron James' departure. You don't want that. Even though he may help you win the championship this year if you bring him to your team, if it ain't something that you can have post LeBron, especially if you're afraid to trade him, LeBron, that is, you want stuff that's going to be worth as much as humanly possible. And that's the key to all of these conversations we've been having. What we have must be tradable upon LeBron's departure. Otherwise, we're in a world of trouble, man. And we're not signing up to be in a world of trouble, are we, Laker fans? No, we are not. So I don't think having any rentals make any sense. If we can't keep them on multiple year contracts that I like, I'm not with it. And with that being said, I think DeJounte Murray is somebody we should probably be trying to really receive for that reason. At this point, now that it looks like the Lakers are going to let LeBron walk, I needed DeJounte to be on a multi-year contract, healthy at the end of this season. You know what I mean? The two things that need to be here, him and him healthy. Because if he's on a Lonzo Ball type contract for any reason at all, it just further screws my situation. So, I don't know. I think I'm pivoting away from this season. If I'm the Lakers, because it really comes down to what the Lakers are willing to do and what they can do post what it is that has to be done. If you can't let go of Darvin Ham, then you have to be honest and say you don't expect your ceiling to be a championship this season. If I'm going to get rid of Darvin Ham, I got to be honest and tell myself I may not have a better replacement for Darvin Ham, especially for this season. So it's like, you can stay in a space where you believe in Darvin Ham and bring him all the requisite pieces. Maybe that's your opinion. But in my humble opinion, that's ignoring certain data. And I heard the argument this morning that Keyshawn Johnson made, saying that letting go of Darvin Ham, he shouldn't be fired because you just told him a couple weeks ago that he was going to keep his job. And then furthermore, you know, he's in a situation where, you know, and this is my point, not Keyshawn's, but you let him go and then you bring yourself a win later timeline. It defeats the purpose of trading away or sending out the win later coach. If he's a project that you intend to wait on, then you definitely don't send him out when you're not winning out to begin with. So that's an argument for keeping him. It's like, well, if I'm just going to rebuild anyway, I probably want a Darvin Ham-like coach to be in place for my young team so that, you know, as we go forward, he can bump his head in whatever way necessary and grow with the team. Young coach, young team. You know, taking your time and just playing the long game with your coach, since we've been paying coaches for the last 8 years. I get that part. I don't know if Darvin Ham is the guy I would go forward with that at this point after what I've seen. But I also don't know what it looks like when he has a young team. You know what I mean? When he's trying to coach LeBron James and the pressures that come with that, is that the same thing as coaching a bunch of young guys, a bunch of baby boys trying to run around and trying to find their way? Maybe they respond well to Darvin. So it's like, there's an argument there if we're going to reset that letting go of Darvin Ham probably ain't best. I don't know if it's the greatest argument, to be honest with you. I don't think it is. But I can see a world where Darvin Ham takes over a Sacramento Kings 5 years from now or something like that with a rebuild or something, and it's fine. He's great, you know what I mean? So that's why you hire a rookie coach to begin with, so that he can grow with a team that is young, which is why I didn't think so much of Darvin Ham's signing as a coach for what it is our timeline was. I just didn't think that was the greatest way to go. But we were living in an era where Ime Udoka went to the finals. We've seen rookie coaches come in and do well, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe we can do the same with this coach. He had a great reputation around the league, so it's like a lot of people believe in him. If we didn't hire him, somebody else would. All of that is really the environment from which he was hired. And I get that. I genuinely understand that. But now that we've seen him, do we feel the same way? I don't think so. And if, let's just say we are moving on from LeBron James, does that mean we're not going to get another pressurized win-now team in place soon? As soon as we get enough kids in place, I can argue we're probably going to trade them away for another player like that. Because last time we had kids, we did this very thing. We dreamed up LeBron James and started coercing ourselves toward a win-now timeline, even though we had Brandon Ingram and a bunch of young people. So the Lakers are probably likely going to do that as soon as they have an opportunity to. As soon as they can pivot to Giannis, Luka, they're going to do that. Question is, will it be the same environment for the Lakers as being the team that Luka would want to come to? And I think if we don't make the right decision here, it won't be. It won't be. You got to do right by LeBron James and right by your franchise and right by the next superstar who's going to be a part of that franchise. And in doing so, you got to capture value, as we've been talking about all day. So players ain't going to care nothing about nothing if their team sucks. And they ain't going to care how you got to the space where your team is great if they have a bunch of great teammates to play with. They don't care the path. They just know when they don't have what they need in place and when they do. It's incumbent upon the team and the GM to know how to acquire that type of value. And that's what I'm saying to all of you guys right now. If we trade away LeBron James, don't think that the next superstar who's going to be playing for the Lakers is going to be upset because you traded away Bron. He's going to be happy because you captured that value and he's going to be playing with it on the basketball court. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. Trading LeBron James is the most responsible thing. Because just the same, you put that team on, this player on this team, and you don't trade LeBron, and you let him walk and all the value that he's supposed to be providing, walk out the door for nothing in return, then that next superstar who's going to be in place going to have a lesser team and he ain't going to be happy playing with y'all. You see what I'm saying? And so, if Anthony Davis was enough to win the championship with a superstar, we'd have several. We only got one, and there's a reason for that. And part of that reason is because the surrounding stuff didn't really necessarily pan out, or because we let value walk out the door. So, this is why I'm telling you guys, we need to trade this guy, man. Not necessarily because we hate him or anything weird like that, but because if we don't and he walks, it's gonna have that effect on our basketball team. And the next superstar that comes in, even if he signs outright, his teammates are gonna be trash because we didn't capture the value necessary to make sure that weren't the case. We're gonna be looking for overachieving we're gonna be looking for second round picks to turn into real role players for us at all times, which we already doing in this situation. You're asking for Max Christie to play better, Austin Reeves play better. You know what I'm saying? This type of stuff is great if you can pull it off, but a lot of times them second round picks are second round picks for a reason. They're limited players, can't do much. So if you're gonna put yourself in a position to rely upon them dudes as your role players, then don't be upset when it don't pan out for you. And so this is why we don't want these problems. If anything, I'm telling y'all that we need to make sure that we don't have these problems. Make sure you don't. And this is how you capture that. By in moments like these, when it's time to pivot toward the future, you making sure that you do so promptly and responsibly. And don't let whatever momentary thought or momentary situation keep you from making the best possible decision for that purpose. So that's what I'm saying, man. If DeJounte Murray puts me in a position to have a 4-year contract at a good price, slap it next to Austin Reeves, boom. That gives me the best possible way forward to capture more value, in a sense that, okay, those are 2 great contracts. Now, whatever else I need, I can probably have a better chance of affording it more so than if I had a contract walking out the door, like D'Lo, not getting nothing for him, or, you know what I mean, somebody that's on a bad contract, whomever that may be, eating up all of my damn cap. So these type of things matter, man. You got to balance that out. And so that's what I'm hoping the Lakers are learning to understand the importance of, man. You got to balance that out. It can't just be about, let's get this team right now. Right now is not the only time you got to be concerned with. You can do everything right now, and LeBron goes down with an injury, and now you're in real trouble. Because you still don't have a win now timeline after doing everything to make this team better. You know what I mean? So these type of things you just got to hedge against by making the best possible flexibility moves, while simultaneously making sure that those flexibility moves identify properly as flexibility moves, not just you taking on good contracts attached to descending value players. Guys who are losing value by the second because they ain't really playing that great. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to identify those things properly. So, do I want the Lakers to shift their thinking? I'm telling you they have to, more or less. If what I'm looking at is clear, as it seems to me, they ain't got no damn choice. You got to change your mindset. The Los Angeles Lakers must change their mindset. And look, if I don't have a coach in place that I think can win me an NBA championship this year, I don't have a win now team. In other words, if I bring him all the pieces, but I don't believe that he's going to do anything good with those damn pieces, I don't have an ability to make those pieces a champion. That's all I'm saying. If you can't make them pieces a champion, then what the heck are you going to make those moves for? And look, if he is the biggest problem, then I don't need to make moves. I just need to get him out of here. So it's like, either way, the Lakers have to make a hard decision. It ain't really that hard to me. But apparently it looks as if it's going to be a difficult decision for them to pay another coach that ain't coaching for them, trade LeBron James or whatever. But right now, like I've been saying, we're in no man's land. Caught between being delusional as it pertains to what we can do for ourselves in winning a championship and holding on to win now players, lying to them as if we can make them a win now team, or asking their greatness, so to speak, to overcome our ineptitude, for which I don't think is going to happen. And that's my opinion, but like maybe you feel differently, but I don't think that's going to happen. Or you can start pivoting toward next season, the seasons next after that, and say to yourself, hey, I can maybe build a championship team or build a souped up rebuild if I just trade away everything I have and start over now, instead of letting half of that stuff walk away. It really isn't going to make any sense if the Lakers, upon LeBron James's departure, decide that they want to rebuild. And it looks like we're almost going to do that. And Anthony Davis probably don't want to play for a team that ain't winning. So when LeBron's going to leave, and then people are going to come to the conclusion that they should rebuild all along. That is a mistake that I'm telling you does not need to be made. Because I'm telling you on this day, before any of that happens, that it's okay to look at it that way already. If for no other reason, then you have a coach in place that's not good enough to take what it is that you either bring to him or keep what he is that he has and make it any good. Simple. He can't do nothing better than what he's shown us. We're a 500 ball club with this roster, and you can't necessarily make trades that are going to make him any better of a coach. So it's okay to say, yeah, my rebuild's starting now. And in the event that happens, the best way to handle that rebuild is to trade away everything you have of value. Not let half of it walk out the door. Never that. The only reason why I'm going to let LeBron James risk walking out the door is because I think I can win a championship with him right now as a rental. See what I'm saying? It's the only reason to do it. It's the only reason to do it. And if we've identified that we can't win with him this year, then him as a rental is worth more to us in trade equity than it is to us in player value as himself. Unless people are more so interested in the money he can provide them off the court, as to which again, that's not going to work for the fans. That's not going to translate to us being any good as a team. And that's something that I would otherwise think, if I'm looking at this correctly, we should protest. If it ain't going to translate to us getting better as a team, then us doing it doesn't benefit the people who are paying for these damn tickets, paying Spectrum, paying for these shirts and these jerseys and all. Nah. You're selling us an idea that you're not actually backing up. And I don't know if Jeanie to be that type of owner. I don't. And I would hate to start thinking that of her right now. But that's the only conclusion to be left. If we're looking at everything clearly, and I'm assuming everybody's looking at everything clearly, that's the only thing left to think. That she's in the space where she's more so concerned with lining her own pockets, for which she's a billionaire multiple times over, and I can argue she can make that money somewhere else, not off of the NBA as it pertains to taking away from our team value. You know what I mean? On the basketball court. It's about what money you snatch, and it's still your team, and it's going to make more money if you do it correctly in the long run. So that's what it really comes down to. Do you want a team that's worth half of what it's worth right now, or do you want a team that's worth even more upon trading LeBron James? And if you do it correctly, and you get in, say, a Luka Doncic or Giannis Antetokounmpo, you may be able to have a team that's worth even more if you do things the right way. Doing things the right way always works out in the long run. And the long run's coming around one way or another. That's what I've come to understand in this life. The long run ain't that long of a run. And you're going to see that as your present day soon enough. And if you do things leading up to that moment the right way, you're going to benefit from it. You're going to definitely benefit from it. And so that's what I say to Jeanie Buss, man. Half a season of LeBron James ain't worth people wanting you ran out of town for not having a good team 3 years from now. You think the headaches is bad now? You wait until we run around in a bad team and see what people talking about while Steve Ballmer got a brand new building. God knows what he puts together. You know what I mean? You don't want those problems. They're not worth it. They're just not worth it. You can make that money up a different way. And nobody's going to blame you. And I've said this more than once today. No one's going to blame you for saving yourself, man. I am not going to cut off my arm to respect you. You understand what I'm saying? If the best way to respect you is for me to cut off my arm, believe me, you ain't getting no respect out of me. Now, if you can show me another way, cool. But if I got to cut pieces off of myself just so that you can receive respect, friend, you're not going to have any. You feel me? And that's what I see in regards to this LeBron James situation. And I gotta let him walk in order to best respect him. Well, damn it, he ain't getting no respect. I'm gonna let you walk. That cannot possibly be the best way to respect you, fam. That cannot possibly be the rule for having LeBron James on my team. And I gotta let him walk. And who's enforcing this rule anyway? What if? Oh, you know what I'm saying? It then becomes a who gonna stop me type of thing. It's like, nobody, fam. You own the team. He's leaving. You get to capture his value or not. I suggest you take a look at those options. You know? So that's what I say to Jeanie Buss, man. This ain't the time to be cutting off your own arm to respect nobody else. I'm sorry. It ain't. And I'm not going to compare him to LeBron James and weird stuff like that. I mean, to Kobe Bryant and weird stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say in this situation, we need to capture the best way to go forward rather than just sitting back saying, you know what, he going to leave. But that's okay because we were showing the utmost respect to one of the greatest players of all time. I'm sorry. If the only way to respect him is to let him take half of my value out the damn door, and damn it ain't no respect coming his way. And he better not take it personal. You feel me? That's how that gotta be. So I'm never gonna understand this. I'm never going to understand this unless somebody tells me, yo, this is what's going on behind the scenes. This is why this is necessary. And because it's necessary, we're going to move forward, even if it looks like we're cutting off our arm. Maybe if we do this, it cuts off our head instead. You know, that kind of thing. You have to show me where that is the case. Otherwise, if it looks the way it looks to me, people backing themselves into a corner and then going to play stupid later and act like nobody told them. And here I am telling them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm not going to accept. That's what I'm not going to accept. Well, no, we just didn't know. How you didn't know? How? I'm right here. You feel me? I'm telling you. So, that's what it is, man. I'm a Laker fan for real. I trade LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, everybody to make sure we don't suck for 7-8 years. They all can go. That's how my mind works. I'm not letting, I trade me. I would trade me. I fire me if I was a bad head coach. I fire me if I was a bad GM. I'm not going to let us go down the toilet. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the realest thing I can tell you. Name on the back of the jersey does not matter as much as the name on the front. And if we lost sight of that somewhere, then damn it, you know who else needs to go? Everybody who has that problem. For real, for real. Ain't nobody worth us being bad when it's preventable. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Time for me to eat, shower up, do all the different stuff, relax. Unfortunately, there's no Laker game. This is the first night I've been in a room like this and probably since I've been in a situation where I didn't have a Laker game to enjoy. But that's okay. I'll bring you more content if it comes to mind. BDO44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.